Hello everyone and welcome. It's Alexandra. Today I wanted to show you two albums that I created some time ago. Those of you who purchased my Natural History mini book digital kit and the Mushroom Collector kit will recognize the layouts in these books as soon as I show you the first pages. Before I proceed, I want to first of all welcome some of the new subscribers of my channel here on YouTube. And second, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who purchased any of my kits on Etsy. I'm so happy to know that you liked to craft with those kits. It means a lot to me, really. So thank you very much for your support. I planned to flip through the pages of these albums a while ago, but somehow new projects were rising along and new ideas, and these two fellas just had to wait for their turn to be shown. Several days ago, I received a question from lovely Lisa Wagner. She is Lisa Wagner 6076 here on YouTube. Lisa wanted to know, among the rest, what was my thought process and the order of operations that went into journal making. I took the two albums from the shelf and hopefully they would help me answer the above question. I will start with this journal right here. Most of the times I do not have a distinct and clear plan as per what I'm going to make. I think that as creative people, we are influenced by weather, by mood, by someone else's projects that can sparkle up our own ideas, things in nature, things around us, like vintage objects, for example. Maybe someone is inspired by music. It all depends. From time to time, I go to estate sales. At one of the estate sales that I visited, I got this, well, I think it still can be called a book. The book didn't have a cover, and that's why now it is in sort of a box that I created for it. The pages seemed all fine, in order. Some of them were still connected, some of them were not. This book is by Gately's and it's called A Universal Educator. Although you cannot see the part of the page that probably had a year, I was able to find some information about that book online, and this book dates back to either 1883 or 1886, something like that. The paper here, as you can see, is quite fragile, and I decided that I just wanted to use the pages from this book in collages. I also planned to scan some of the images that I especially liked. There are various sections in the book dedicated to various themes. And here is Chloe right here. Let me move the box so that you could see her as well. And she probably wants to sniff the pages of the book here. As I was looking through the pages, I already found myself creating a base page for an album. This album. If I open it now and show you the first page, you will see that I have two pockets here, and the base page itself actually has only the text on it, and the text as well as the paper comes from this very book. So I made the pockets, they looked plain, then I punched out the circle openings in them, added some images from other books, maybe more modern books this time, and just one after another, the first page of the album was done. I usually try to use the letter size cardstock for anything that I make. If anything decent comes out of it, I can create a digital kit that can be printed on that size of paper. So creating a digital kit somehow is always there in the background on my mind. As I went along, I added more book pages for the tags on this first page of the album. I looked at it and decided that I should create another page. So I kept on going, and this is how the album right here was born. And when I finished it, I invested so much time in making it using book pages, and I really liked the result. And then I thought that it could be nice to find some public domain images and graphics and create a kit with the same layouts that I have in this book, and let it out to the world, so to say. I'm happy that you guys liked it. You liked how the layouts looked. So if I go back to the cover and how this book is constructed, you will see that it looks very much like the natural history mini book that I released in the form of a digital kit. I also used the fabric covered spine. Here I created a dangle with some letter beads to embellish the spine of the book. I also used almost the same stamps that I used for my natural history album. Now here I have a bunch of various elements which come from either antique books, some modern books that I have in my stash and I like to use for collage work. Some other elements on the cover come from various places. There are some labels that come from Tracy Fox's kits, some labels I have created on my own. There are some stickers. There are some, I don't know, parts of book pages, antique book pages, some ledger papers, various elements that I was reaching to while creating this specific album. And everything that I used inside basically repeats the same elements that I used throughout the pages. And these again include some of the papers from my stash, some ledger papers, some other kinds of papers. If we talk about the mini booklets that we have in the album, some book pages and images that I already had in my stash, either from my own kits or purchased from others. But anyway, the layouts were created as I went, and then the tags which are inside, some of them have just one layer, which was taken from the book page, and some others have been collaged on. I have already shown you this page. Then on this page we have this type of closure, and inside the pocket I have put some vintage tickets. Yes, Chloe, how can I help you? Then we have no biting the thread, please. Please, I need it. That's not a toy, okay? Not a toy, Chloe. Not a toy. You have toys in your box. Here on the table. You don't have to go too far. Please, just let me do this, okay? Just let me do this, Chloe. Please. Jeez, I will play with you later. Okay, lay down. Lay down here. Lay down. Back to our little pieces here in the pocket. I have created some slides. That's the original ticket. I have created a tag, and all of them go into the pocket here at the top. Then we have another pocket right here with some more images that I had in my stash, some book pages. The same goes for the part of the flap here at the top. And then we have another little booklet that hides behind the flaps of the page. And most of the booklets are not embellished on the inside, unlike the booklets in the digital kit, because creating the elements for embellishing these pages would take me so long. So I will maybe continue working on these booklets later when I have more time to dedicate to them. Inside the second page, we have a tag that has some collage work on it. Again, various elements from various books, ledgers, digital kits by others, some graphics that belong to me, some stamping here, and so on. On the reverse side of the page, we have a vertical pocket with a window, the antique book page again in the background with some added elements that I either stamped or die cut or cut out from a book. Then this sleeve was also created using a stamp, another label that I had in my stash, some envelopes that I have digitally created for this journal. This, I believe, comes from a kit by Tracy Fox. Love junk journals, as well as the card that I put inside here. Yeah, this one was also from Tracy's kit. I don't remember the name of the kit. I'm sure some of you will recognize the graphics. Now this one is a vintage paperclip, and it's a very peculiar one. I don't want to disassemble it, but it has a clip inside, and probably it was used in a legal office to mark the places where a client had to put his signature. Insert here for tab index. So yeah, let's do that. On the next page, again, we have many elements with collages. Here I have a page which was created with a bunch of various postage stamps that I had. And here I have used some ledger paper, and again the book pages from a botanical book, some fussy cut butterflies, some die cut gold numbers, and on the tags as well I have the same book pages from that antique book, The Universal Educator. And that book was really something that inspired this whole project, believe it or not. Then I have a tag inside this page. We flip the page and have an additional booklet right here. Here we have another book page and some stamped elements. The booklet is stored in the pocket on the page. Here we have a frame and a card that goes into that frame. Everything was collaged. Every element was glued down separately onto the page. And here we have just a book page with some lovely florals on it. Punched out tab at the top. And here behind the opening, we see a sticker with some tulips and some label. And again, the parts of the book pages. The tag inside this page looks like this, with many nature-themed cut-out elements collaged on top of the ledger paper and some antique book pages and the botanical book pages. Here as well, the same elements and some stamping. I think that this page was the most difficult one for me to create manually without aligning the images up digitally. And that, I think, is really the most challenging part, to make sure that everything lines up. Now, I didn't learn digital design. I didn't attend any courses. I started to get interested in Photoshop and digital graphics before even I had kids. Around the year of 2006. I was 26 back then, and I was interested in trying to retouch various digital pictures. I was very much interested in various digital tricks, like adding a frame to an image or making an effect of a person stepping out of a frame in the picture, like various tricks that started back then and were popular back then. I just found articles and tutorials on various forums. It was before the time of video tutorials, so most of the tutorials just came in a text form, and I spent a lot of time learning those articles. After learning a bit of Photoshop, I also started to learn a bit of Illustrator. So now when I'm working on a digital kit like this, for example, I do need to use both, because I create templates for the pages in the Illustrator, and then I dress those templates up with the images in Photoshop. So that's the process, more or less. When you work on these things manually, of course, you are required to cut out an image, and before you glue it down, just to make sure that it can be seen through the exact cut out window on your page, that it will be in the correct spot when you put the card or a tag inside a pocket. For example, here through this pocket, I wanted the bird to be seen through a little bit better, with the beak also showing. Sorry about the glare, but as you can see, I didn't do a very good job. But again, for the manual process, I think it was fine. That's how the back looked like. Just some labels and stamping and ledger paper glued down in the background. On the next page, we have again a little booklet and some envelopes that I have collaged on. This is a die cut strip of faux postage stamps with some die cut numbers that were created with the gold foiled cardstock. Another tag that was collaged on, and this is how it looks in the back. Here I have a stamped faux postage stamp with some mushrooms plain in the back. And this was another envelope that I have created using some of the images from my stash. That's the booklet. And inside we have again some pages from the ledger and some plain sheets of paper. As I go and I create the pages, I just look at everything that I have created before and either repeat some of the elements like this pocket on the page here, or create some new layouts. That all depends. I think I didn't show you the tag that is inside, some stamped butterflies, some stamped numbers, collage work in the background and stamping on the ledger papers, and this side of the tag has only a book page glued onto it. On the last page here, we have a book page from the Universal Educator and some other elements like a butterfly from one of Tracy Fox's kits. One of the butterflies that I probably found in my stash. Then that's the booklet that we have, a very plain one here with a lot of various elements on the front cover and some vintage fabric along the spine. And the last page is also very simple. It has a pocket with an image of the butterfly peeking through the opening in the pocket, a book page from a botanical book there with some additional elements added on top, and another collaged tag with various images and elements like postage stamp. This page was sent to me by Your Creative Studio in one of their kits, and so on and so forth. So that was the prototype of my natural history mini book, as well as the one with the Santa, the Christmas themed book. I added some very plain ties to it to make sure that it stays closed, but as a matter of fact, I don't really like closures on the albums. I don't like to get busy with all the opening and closing process. That's the journal number 1. The journal number 2 has a horizontal layout, and this one is a prototype of my mushroom collector kit. Going back to Lisa's question, I didn't have a certain plan. I just wanted to create a similar album, but of a horizontal layout. So I took the same measurements from the previous project and started to play with the pages and the elements that I had in my stash to create the layouts for this project as well. Here the spine is just plain cotton vintage fabric that I had in my stash. In the back we have the book pages from that antique Universal Educator, some ledger papers again, some stamping, labels, stickers, and so on and so forth. I don't really like how the front cover turned out because I wanted to create something similar to this, but as a matter of fact, this one is also too collaged for the front cover. There is no specific composition here, but you know, it is what it is. It's part of the creative process, so I left it like that, and I even created the cover of the digital kit in the similar style, I guess, if I'm thinking about it now. So this journal doesn't have a closure. It also uses the same elements that I already had, like all the fussy cut butterflies and florals and mushrooms from either kits that I purchased from others, or images from the books that I own, or the public domain images that I found before and I printed them out, and sometimes I also use them in my own kits. Let's have a look at the inside. I don't have any sketches of the pages that I am working on. When I can't concentrate on the work and I'm distracted a lot, then I might create a sketch of a page that I had on my mind. Just not to lose that idea, I might very quickly sketch a plan for that certain page, but not for the upcoming pages for sure, because I usually just make them up as I go. So here we have a pocket that looks like this. Cards, probably these were even some freebies that I found some time ago when I didn't create digital kits of my own. On this page we have a design that some of you are familiar with if you worked on the Mushroom Collector book together with me. This is all collaged. The back is quite plain, just some stamping and ledger papers right there. Here I can see that I even added more elements to the insides of the covers, but the pages of the booklet are plain. The most difficult part for me in this journal was to work on the tags and cards which are inside. That's why I just found some printables, collaged printables that I purchased from others, and I just glued those papers onto the cardstock pieces. I didn't embellish them. I know that in the previous book it took me a very long time to find all of the fussy cut elements and arrange them on the pages. Here we have another horizontal pocket with the collaged book pages and some printables that I purchased from other crafters on Etsy. Here we have another collaged card, and that's a paper clip from one of my kits, a book page with some labels. I'm sure that this one is from Tracy Fox. That one I don't remember, maybe also from Tracy. Then on this page, again, you can see some punched out openings in the pockets. And here I didn't invest too much time in lining up the images or finding something to put behind that opening. But I did do that when I was working on the digital kit. And these have been collaged, so they're quite simple, plain in the back with some punched out tabs on the sides. The inside card is very, very plain. Here I have created that cover and pockets for various pieces of ephemera, and here I have tiny printed out photos of beautiful ladies. I have used a gold pen, I think, to create a frame around the images. This one is just plain printed out piece. And here I have some faux tea cards with the birds. Whatever I had, I used because it was right for this page in terms of size and the layout. This page was a challenge because I needed to create an envelope with the help of the punch board, and I needed it to be of the proper size to fit the base of the page that I had in the album. So that took some time. Inside we have some collaged background paper, and then these cards come from a freebie that I have on my coffee page, and you can still find it there. Then the little booklet is something that I created also a while ago when I was working with one of the kids from Vectoria Designs. So these are just some leftover papers from Tina that I used for making this booklet. The tag inside, again, is super plain. On the reverse side of the page, we have a pocket that looks like this, and this booklet that I have collaged the cover for. The back is plain, and it's also plain on the inside. Here we have two slides that were created. The main shape was created with the help of a die. Then I used some stamps to stamp around the images, and the images inside were taken from a book about birds. Some stamping in the back. Here we have the pages from the Universal Educator and some ledger papers. That's the card, front and back with the images of the birds, some labels and stamping. The card inside. The reverse looks like this. Again, some original vintage tickets, a little card and another card with the mushrooms that can be seen through the opening on one of the pockets, and a collaged journaling card inside that pocket. Again, every little piece of paper that you see here has been glued down separately. Stamped pieces of faux vintage tape were added. All the labels are separate. The die cut elements, everything. You can imagine that assembling a project like this with a digital kit takes time, but creating the same thing first with the elements that you have and with the tools that you have takes way longer. Here we have a flip out pocket with a little tag in it and a horizontal belly band that holds another booklet. That's how the back looks like of the tag. Another image with the butterflies that I used from the leftover elements from Vectoria Designs. Digital kits, some labels that I had in my stash, and some book pages. And that's the last spread. The vertical belly band with the dragonfly that I printed on acetate. Some collage work that was done with both book pages and printables that I had from other crafters. The card that looks like this, and a paper clip from one of my kits. And then in the back I have created the pockets, and the design of these pockets I later on used for creating a digital version of these elements in my mushroom collector kit. But these ones were created with simple paper and stamps and tracing paper here, and the tags inside were also collaged using stamps and some labels and some printed pattern paper. On the pockets I used the book pages, and the image in the background is just some stamping and labels that was done on a ledger page. These are two of the journals that I wanted to show you. Something that helps me when I'm working on the projects like these and don't use a digital kit is just to have maybe a list of elements that I want to use. First of all, the theme, of course. Usually I like to create something which is related to nature. If I'm making a project for Vectoria Designs, then of course the idea and inspiration come from the kit that Tina asks me to work with, and then I look at the colors, I look at the elements that the kit has, and kind of go on from there. If sketching the layouts can help you, then by all means please do that. Especially if you're a beginner, I think it can help a lot. It can help keep you organized and stick to your plan and ideas as you work on a certain journal, book, or album. In my opinion, the most important thing when you create something is to try something new. Even if it's something small, like a new shape of a pocket, or a new shape of an envelope, a new, I don't know, page layout, new lace, new something, I don't know. Just create. The more you create, the more ideas you will have. I think that would be all from me for today. I hope that I partially answered your questions, dear Lisa. If I still can help with anything, please let me know. You know, guys, where to ask your questions in the comments below. Sometimes it takes me longer to reply, but rest assured I will get back to you. in any case. I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your day. Don't stop creating. Happy crafting, and talk to you soon. Bye.